Congratulate Brendan and the team on their performance yesterday. And can I also congratulate Kenny Miller on his unique piece of punditry that no one else in the universe can do.
Still crying somewhere, probably.
Congrats, Kenny. Welcome back, guys, to Folk Football. Kenny Miller is full of congratulations for himself the day, as Kenny Miller has been praised by Chris Sutton in the Celtic Awards, whatever ceremony that is. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but it's another dig at Kenny Miller. He says congratulations to him for being the only man in the entire universe for thinking that wasn't a red card. Yeah, Kenny Miller is getting absolute pelters. Is it any surprise that he is? We've defended Kerry to a degree on this channel with the comments that he made, because at the end of the day, you know, he's talking about with foot far, but Kenny, it's got there is VAR, son. You know that is why it's there. All right, VAR is there. When they slow it down, I get it. There's a lot of instances, right, where you slow it down and it makes it look 100 times worse than what it was. But that was a bad tackle. Lundstrom knew it. The Rangers players knew it. The only guy that didn't know it was Kenny Miller. He's going to such a defence of it here. I get it. VAR has ruined the game in many ways. And here, you can maybe look at this one as another ruining. Because at the end of the day, without VAR, it doesn't get given. It would have just stuck to Willie Gomes yellow. And then when we looked at it, it probably went, oh, he could have gave red for that. But with VAR, it's not could have, it's should have. And it is, and it's been given. And that's pretty much what's happened there. Bang, bang. Good night. It is all over for Kenny Miller. Will he live to see another day? Probably. I mean, he's been getting bashed quite a lot here. Kenny Miller, left, right and centre. He's been dealt a poor hand, but then he dealt a poor opinion. And when you deal poor opinions, more often than not, you're going to get called up on it, aren't you? You're going to get absolutely called up. And he has. And you can't... You know, when Chris Boyd is saying, I would love to stick up for you, Kenny, but I just can't, you know, it's falling apart, isn't it? It's absolutely falling apart there for Kenny Miller. And again, we're going to react to that poll very soon. Very soon, we're going to react to that poll on the channel, and we'll get back to you, because I mean, I think the vast majority are thinking that it is a red card. Obviously, you're going to get a few people that are just going to think regardless, no, it's never happened to Rangers, it can't be. It just cannot be. But at the end of the day, I think that's the way it's going to go down, and that's where we're going to leave it, guys. Kenny Miller making himself a fool of himself. I think it was it wasn't such the fact that he thought it was a red. He wasn't a red. It's kind of like the meltdown that came for it. Went to, like, he wasn't screaming, but you know, he was turning a bit beetroot. It looked like he'd been suntanned. He'd been tangled, and you just had everyone else looking at him. Even, you know, Sutton, he's trying to cover the microphone to hide the smirk, and then he lowers it just to reveal the smirk. You've got Boyd trying to defend his old shooting buddy up front for Rangers. Then you've got McFadden just sitting there like, Kenny, no, it isn't, mate. It's a red card, mate. It's a red card. Then you've got Neil Lennon, you know, sitting there. Oh, how about we talk about Big John? How about we talk about Big John and how it cost his team? Because absolutely, it cost his team. Can't dispute that. It did. But Kenny Miller, I like it. That's what I like for the Scotland games, man. You get this. I feel like in the England, when you watch like the Arsenal United punditry, I mean, Rooney, Keane, and Merson, it's no bad, but you never really get that animosity. Even though I'm sure they don't really like each other, you just never get it. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Till next time, peace.